Hey all, welcome back to another video on the Racing Joker channel. Today, we're going to be talking about a certain controversial topic, the 5th generation Toyota Supra, or as it is also known as, the A90 Supra. I'm going to be responding to a lot of the comments, which are mostly hateful, about the car and see if we should give the car the chance a lot of people don't think it deserves.
This is where the fun begins.
Let's start off simple. I've seen a lot of people say it looks like a BMW Z4, or it's just plain weird, long, and ugly. And usually, when it comes to taste, my default response is, opinions are subjective, and not everyone agrees. But I kinda have to agree, it doesn't look particularly cool from the front, but I do like the back. That being said, I never thought the FT1 concept looked very good either. And people often compare this car to the previous generation Supra. Stuff about how the previous one was better looking, essentially. I'll admit, the stock Mark IV Supra does look a little nicer, but to be honest, I only really liked them when the exterior was modified. It could be a simple clean look with a TRD wing and a carbon splitter, or a full body kit and a massive aftermarket wing. Whichever direction you take it in, I think it looks much better. And I think the new Supra has the same customization potential. After all, take a look at the GR racing concept. I personally think it looks pretty rad. If companies like Liberty Walk, Veilside, or Sea West take inspiration even from just that, I think we could look forward to some pretty sweet body kits. And since I'm the sort of person who looks at cars for their potential to be personalized, this could be a huge factor on whether the car is worth getting or not. Next on the list, the engine. Oh boy. A lot of people are really complaining about how the Supra has a B58 BMW engine in it. They're saying they wish it could have the 2JZ in it, or have an engine made by Toyota instead. For the 2JZ, I'll just say this, because anything else I might say will open Pandora's box, that is, if I haven't already. If you want a 2JZ in the new Supra, then buy one and do a swap. So many people did it with the GT86, FRS, and BRZ. I'll be talking more about those cars in a moment. And besides, didn't Yamaha play a role in making the JZ engine platform anyways? And as for the people complaining about a BMW engine in the new Supra, why is that a bad thing? I don't remember people complaining about the GT86 having a Subaru engine in it. Seems kinda silly to me. The B58 has a fun engine and probably has a lot of tuning potential. We personally have a 2016 340i X-Drive in the family, and that started with 330 horsepower, and now after a Dynan tune, it has 410 to 420. Sure, it's a newer platform and there aren't as many parts out there for it, but now that the engine is in a car with the model name Supra, I think people are going to really want to see what the B58 engine can do. Which is cool for BMW folk too, because then any B58 BMW owner can learn from whatever the Supra tuners end up doing. And one last thing about the engine. I've seen a few people complain about the reliability of the car. I say the supposed reliability. No one has really driven it that much yet. Our 340i is driven every day with no severe problems at all. If you plan on regularly driving the car fast and modifying it at all, you don't really have much of a right to complain about unreliability if something breaks. I'm saying that knowing how indestructible the 2J was. The point is that if you abuse anything or use it for a long period of time, problems are going to show up. Predictable or not. Things break, stuff goes wrong. If you can't handle the responsibility of fixing complicated things, then you really shouldn't be buying sports cars. And as for it having a flappy paddle gearbox, I get that you're a purist. I love driving stick as well. But because I haven't been living in the 1990s for the last 29 years, I'm able to recognize that while I might not get the same experience, I do still get to drive what is probably a very nice car, and also is probably good at shifting a lot faster than me. If you want a car with 3 pedals, either buy a Mark IV Supra or figure out how to convert the Mark V into a clutch manual. But now hold on a second. Why should any of this stuff be a problem anyways? The car uses a chassis and engine made by BMW, a car maker known for manufacturing some of the best sports cars and race cars in the world. It might not be much of a good-looking car, but I wouldn't say it's terrible. So why is everyone judging it so harshly? It's because Toyota made the ballsy decision to call the car a Supra. The moment they did that, a lot of people were no longer concerned with how good of a sports car it is. People are only concerned with how good of a Supra it is. This means that if the car can't recapture the same lightning as the previous Supra generations, people are going to judge the car pretty harshly. I mean, think about it. Could you imagine what kind of response the R35 GTR might have gotten from the Skyline purists and fanboys if it was called the R35 Skyline GTR? I'm sure most of us have seen lots of people in comment threads on YouTube or Facebook saying, it isn't a Skyline, it's just the GTR. And in a literal sense, they are correct. It doesn't have the Skyline badge, which is probably a factor for why the RB26 being replaced by a V6 isn't causing heartbreak or butthurt. That and the car's lack of a 6-speed manual hasn't driven the purists crazy. We should also keep in mind the car has barely just come out. So while people are entitled to their opinions, we should all take what the Facebook automotive journalists have to say with a grain of salt, or even less, and just see how this goes. So, to go back to the original question, should we give the new Supra a chance? Yes, I think we should. Let's see if it can be a good sports car, even if it isn't a good Supra. Would I get one right now if I could? Probably not. I'd have to see where the tuners take it first. But I can guarantee you, I'll be paying close attention. Anyways, that was probably a shorter video than you're used to getting from me, but that's all I really have to say. I look forward to having civilized discussions with you down in the comments below. Alright, well, if you like this video, check out my other content. Recently, I did a video with some cool facts about the BMW M3 GTR, and I have a lot of Skyline GTR videos as well. So if you want to learn about race cars, how to build Brian's Skyline, or about importing your own Skyline into the US, check out my Car Topics Explained playlist. And also just to let you know, I do gaming videos, vlogs, and driving POV videos. So if any of that tickles your fancy, then have a peruse through my channel. And if you're extra cool, then maybe even subscribe. Anyways, I'm Tom, the Racing Joker, and I'll be signing out. I'll see you all next time. Stay crazy, everybody.